God included, can become the source of fear. In fact, God, generally, parents instill the fear of God in children. When we are young, we are told, தப்பு பண்ண போயிச்சோன்னு அம்மாச்சி கண்ணை குத்தும்னு. அதுக்கு ஒரு வேலை இல்லையா? இப்படி போயிட்டு இருக்கும் அம்மாச்சி. யார் கண்ணை குத்துறதுன்னு? யார் கண்ணையாவது குத்திருக்காது வரைக்கும் அம்மாச்சி. இப்படி சொன்னால் என்ன ஆகும்? நான் நிறைய பொய் சொல்லலான்னு தோணும். ஏன்னா அப்பானே டூப் போடுறான், அம்மாச்சி கண்ணை குத்துன்னு அவன் பொய் சொல்கிறான். அப்போ நம்ம சொன்னால் என்னங்க? நிறைய பேருக்கு வந்திருக்கும் இல்லையா? Have you not been told that? அம்மாச்சி கண்ணை குத்தும். God will punish you. God will punish you. ஏன்னா இவாளால் பண்ண முடியாது. The real reason is because they don't want to or they cannot punish. So they say, God will punish you. God will be an avenging angel. Madri God. God has no other business. Anna. In fact, if God decides to punish, none of us will be left. Once in Ramanashramam, they brought a complaint against somebody to Ramana Bhagawan. Bhagawan never tolerated complaints about anybody, criticisms about anybody. And no complaint, they complained. So Bhagavan said, நான் யாரையும் திருத்தறதுக்கு வரல போய், அப்படி திருத்தறதுக்கு கிளம்பிட்டேன்னா இங்கே ஒரு காக்கா கூட இருக்காது. Bhagavan said, I have not come here to correct anybody or reform anybody. If I start doing that, not a single crow can be left behind in this vicinity. ஏன்னா ஆறுது தான் தப்பு இல்லை. God does not need to punish us because we punish ourselves. என்ன punishment? Bhayam da punishment. Why bhayam? Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati. The moment we perceive a second, there is fear in us. Prahlada Charitram comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Saptama skandam of the Srimad Bhagavatam is Prahlada Charitram, 7th skandam. And in the very beginning of that skandhataliye, Narada, it starts off as a conversation between Yudhishthira and Narada during the Yudhishthira Rajasuya Yajna in Indraprastha. And Shishupala had been decapitated by Bhagavan Shri Krishna. Shishupala was Krishna's cousin, and he had kept on abusing Krishna. Oru Ashtotram panna. At the end of the Ashtotram, Bhagavan threw the silver plate that he had in his hand. It became the Sudarshana Chakra, went and chopped off the head of Shishupala. Shishupala died. And when Shishupala fell down dead, everybody could see that he merged into Krishna. And on seeing that, Yudhishthira was very surprised and he said, this fellow hated Krishna all his life. In front of us, he abused Krishna so many times, using so many words that were so painful to hear. Yudhishthira jonna oru painful illa actually. And when we sing bhajans, we are also doing the same thing now. Everything that Shishupala has said is what we also say. Avan tittinanu solron, nama bhajananu solron. Ena am Gopala அப்படின்னா. He's a cowherd அப்படின்னா. நம்மளும் கோபாலாங்கிறோம். cowherd தானே. இந்த கருப்பு பைய அப்படின்னா நம்மளும் கிருஷ்ணா அப்படிங்கிறோம். He is crooked in 3 places na நம்ம திரிபங்கி லலிதாகாரம்னு சொல்றோம். அவன் ஒன்றக்கண்ணுன்னா நம்ம கட்டாட்சம் அப்படிங்கிறோம். எல்லாம் in the end, everything that we call as good names for Bhagavan, he abused. ஒண்ணுதான் வித்தியாசம் இல்லை. That is why Krishna also was happily listening to it. பஜனை பாடுறான்னு நினைச்சுட்டு. அதுக்கப்புறம் there is a back story. He was allowed 100 abuses. When he finished using that, Bhagavan did not want him to abuse the privilege of only 100 abuses. Adanala Bhagavan put an end to him. But he merged in Bhagavan. And the merging is what causes a great sense of consternation or intrigue or inquisitiveness in Yudhishthira. How did this fellow merge in Krishna? He only spent his life scolding Krishna, hating Krishna, abusing Krishna. How did he merge in Krishna? Narada says, what did you think? Who do you think Krishna is? See, Yudhishthira says he abused Krishna. How did he merge in Krishna? அதுக்கு What is the key point for it? It is abuse. Narada says, do you think Krishna is like you? Vaishamyam yathavanna vanamadri vashamakarana. Do you think he is an ordinary fellow who will treat abuse separately and praise separately? If somebody comes and says, you are a very nice fellow, what will you do? You will say, aha, apara thaniya vanapati cholluve. Namma nalla manushan ba. Enna nallavannu sonna. What is the we qualify people, good man, bad man. What makes a person good? If he recognizes us as good, he is good. If he says something bad about us, then he is naturally a bad person. That's our classification of the world. Upon Narada says, do you think Bhagawan is like that? Bhagavan is not like you. He is not bothered about, he is abusing me, he is praising me. He is not bothered. He thought about me. To even abuse me, he has to think about me. In fact, the more Bhagavan looked at Shishupala and said, Shishupala is greater devotee than others also. Because others forgot Krishna except when they were praising him. Shishupala never forgot Krishna. He hated him so much that he thought about Krishna all the time. If an animal could have the power of speech and you ask the animal, why are you alive now? How do I know? I have to eat today. I have to propagate the species tomorrow. I have to die day after tomorrow. That is why I am alive. That is what an animal would say. Now suppose we turn it to you and ask you the question, what would you say? I have to eat today, pass on the genes tomorrow, die day after tomorrow. Then what is the difference? Ahara nidra bhayamaitunani samanyametat pashubhirnaranam jnanam hi tesham adhiko visheshataha jnanena shunyaha pashubhis samanaha in the Shastra. 4 things are common for both animals and human beings. Ahara, food. Nidra, sleep. Bhayam, fear. Maithunam, propagation of the species. Ahara, nidra, bhayamaitunani, the forum, samanyam, is the same for etat pashubhir narana. Manishanukun cheri, both for the human being as well as for the animal, these 4 are the most common denominators. LCD, lowest common denominator. What is the lowest common denominator between us and animals? For the same 4. Is there a difference between an animal and a human being? The Shastra says, Jnanam hi tesham adhiko visheshataha. That which is vishesham, that which is the speciality, that which is different between the human and the animal is jnana. Jnanena shunyaha. If somebody should be a jnana shunyam, without that jnana, pashubhi samanaha. He is animal only. Very matter of factly, the Shastram says, he is only an animal in a human form. Biology, when you study, one of the things you study, man is an animal. Kingdom Animalia. Animal kingdom, plant kingdom. And the Animalia, man is an animal. Within that animal kingdom. Biological beasts na number. What is it that separates us? There is one thing that should separate us. What is that? Jnana. And what does this jnanam do? There are 4 things I said that are common for animals and humans. Aghara, nidra, bhayam, maitunam. What does jnanam do? It takes away this 3rd component, bhayam. But how many people have truly, honestly, how many of you have truly, honestly ever spent time contemplating on the purpose of life? What is it about? There are a lot of assumptions in life. There are a lot of things that are taken for granted without thinking because of our upbringing, society, expectations. From all quarters, we have not even really contemplated on what is the purpose. We've assumed that these things have to be done. Full stop. When you are born, You don't know anything, but the moment you start knowing something, the moment you are old enough for instructions to be given to you, from that point onwards, independent thinking is lost. The couple of instructions are given. What little independent thinking is there is squashed by being told repeatedly, listen to what we say. We get into a rut. Okay, now school. Okay, now this class. Okay, now this course. Okay, now university. Okay, now job. Okay, now marriage. Okay, now children. Okay, now. Why? Have you actually ever questioned why? What for? See, our rishis questioned. That is why they became rishis. Our great ones, what did they do? The Mahatmas, Mahapurushas in any religion, any part of the world, what did they do? They first questioned. They said, why? What for? What is the purpose? What is this accomplishing? What is the purpose of being alive? Aradu cholunga papa mein. Any of you feel confident enough to tell me why you are alive? Of course, you are contributing to a lot of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. A lot of nitrogen comes because of you. A lot of methane comes because of you. But apart from those chemical outputs that you present to this planet, what purpose? What is the purpose of being alive? Why are you alive? அப்படி கேட்டால் கொஞ்சம் ரொம்ப பிளண்ட்டாக இருக்கும் இல்லையா, ஏன் உயிரோடு இருக்கேன்னு கேட்ட மாதிரி இருக்கும் இல்லையா, why the heck are you still alive ங்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கும். But that's not the point. The point is, what is the purpose of life? Why are you alive? Goal என்ன? உபேயம் என்ன? What is the upayam? What is the goal? What are you hoping to accomplish in this life? When the day comes when you have got to leave, and that is going to come. யாருக்குமே வராமல் இருக்க போகிறதில்லை. It is going to come for everybody. But when the day comes that we have to leave, what is it that you would have hoped to accomplish by that point in time? Has anybody actually contemplated on this? And have you actually come to a conclusion or an answer? Because when you do that, you go beyond the limited perception of your little life and you expand yourself. You become bigger, you become noble, you become greater than you are. எப்பொழுதும் உன்னை கண்டு எல்லாமும் முன்னுருவாய் அந்நியமில் அன்பு செய்யும் அன்னோன் அருணாச்சலா வெல்கும் உன்னிலாண்டே. In Arunachala Pancharatana, Ramana Bhagawan beautifully encapsulates this idea by saying, உன்னிடத்தில் ஒப்புவைத்த உள்ளத்தால், once I hand over my heart to you in love, then through that heart which now belongs to you, I will be able to see you everywhere, everything as you, and be able to do unflinching, exclusive bhakti, exclusive prema towards you. Anniyamil anbu. Love that does not admit differences. When do we dissolve in the Brahman? We are actually Brahman only. If a salt doll is taken and thrown into the ocean, what will happen to the doll? But if it is put in a Ziploc bag, then what will happen? If it is put in a watertight compartment and put into the ocean, what will happen? It will still continue to remain, no? Even though it is made up of the very same substance as the ocean, it will not dissolve because there is a covering, there is a wall, there is something separating it from the waters of the ocean. Getting rid of that through the sevenfold path, through all of the others, yama, niyama, etc., what we are doing is we are striking again and again and again at that wall which separates us from God. And finally, when the last final blow is laid upon that wall, it crumbles and everything merges. Out of this immense compassion Swami has, he has given us this great gift, Prashanti Vahini. And not only did he give this gift of Prashanti Vahini in 1960s by writing it out, now in the last 7 days he has given the gift of reliving, relearning, going through in great detail, enjoying the words of Sai. Over these 7 days, I enjoyed myself very much. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed it at least as much as I did, if not more. But I had a great time, a rip-roaring, swell time. It was so good because each word is from my Guru. It is from my Lord. It is from my Master, my Swami. Triputi Rahityam. The absence of Triputi. Triputi appadina, the triad of doer, doing and deed. If you're meditating, the meditator, the meditation and the object of meditation. 3. When 3 are existing, it is dhyana. When the 3 become 1, it is samadhi. Samadhi is the natural fruition, the natural ripening and the maturation of dhyana. In dharana, you are not distracted by anything, attention is fixed only within. The strengthening of dharana becomes dhyana. The ripening of dhyana becomes samadhi. Prana will come under perfect control when the mind is fixed like this on the goal. When the mind becomes absolutely fixed, even sneezes will stop, yawning will stop, coughing, everything will stop, because all of those are prana related activities. Firmness will come. Easily it will come. For that, what should you do? Swami says beautifully, in the waking state, dream state, whatever the state, even dream you can do it. But you have to go into sleep while focused and fixed on it. When you're totally fixed on it and you get into sleep, even in the dream you will be aware that it is a dream. You'll be watching. You'll be constantly alert, constantly watching. It's a super conscious state. Thunga tukam. You can sleep and not sleep. You can be fully aware. What is dharana? The undeviating nature or character of the chitta. It is fixed within. It does not go out. It requires a lot of training to be done. A lot of training is required to bring the mind to focus within and not get dragged away. In order to prevent it from being dragged away, we have done all this before. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara. We have done these 5 so that we are cutting out, we are making sure that the mind can go within and stay within. In spite of it, mind can go out. We have to still train it. How does that happen? Swami says, the chitta gives up its attachment to the external world. It is no longer interested in the external world. On the other hand, it is filled with a lot of repentance for having dabbled in the external world for so long.